Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. I wanted to just let everyone know, I'm going to turn it over to Dina in a few minutes, but as we prepare, I'm just going to give a few quick remarks. If you could have a chair without arms ready and a yoga mat handy, that will help for the yoga portion. But my name is Chris Ellis, and I'm the Director of Advancement at Community Health Center of Cape Cod. For anyone who's not familiar with our organization, our mission is to improve the health of our community through the provision of comprehensive, high-quality, compassionate healthcare to all, regardless of ability to pay. We serve more than 20,000 individuals, offering integrated healthcare services in Mashpee, Falmouth, Bourne, and Centerville. This yoga event that we're doing today is the kickoff to our second annual online auction, which we're really excited about, which is focused on celebrating local wellness, and it's through August 28th. You can visit bit.ly/CHC auction to view some great auction packages donated by local individuals and businesses. Many of the services we provide at the health center, such as barrier assessments for housing, food insecurity, employment, and insurance enrollment support, are offered free of charge to our patients in the community. So events like these really enable us to continue to offer these services to those who need it. This is especially true today as we continue to adjust our care models to care for the community during the COVID-19 pandemic. Before we do get started, I just want everyone to mark their calendars for two other upcoming events. We will have a cooking demonstration with Nicole Cormier on Wednesday, August 19th at 12 p.m. And we will have a workshop on mindfulness and stress with Calmer Choice on Thursday, August 27th at 1 p.m. But now to turn it over to the main event. We're grateful to have our nutritionist, Dena Irwin, with us today to do a little bit of a beginner's yoga session. Dina is a registered dietitian nutritionist at Community Health Center of Cape Cod, and she's a certified diabetes educator and a registered yoga teacher. She received a Bachelor of Science degree in food and nutrition from Framingham State College, completed her yoga teacher training at Sanctuary Studios, and earned a certificate in herbalism at Botanics by Brook. She has many years of experience helping people improve their health and well-being while taking account of the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. She believes in a healthy lifestyle while enjoying life to the fullest. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Dina, and we thank you, Dina, for doing this with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be doing some chair yoga. Thank you all for joining. And I've been a nutritionist for a wicked long time, and I love to combine the science of nutrition with the wisdom of yoga. It's a perfect fit. So please join me in sitting down in your chair. Hopefully it doesn't have arms. We'll be sitting for a little bit, standing for a little bit, and then we'll come back to sitting. If you can sit with a smile on your face and breathe, you can do yoga. And I do like to say that yoga is all about you. So if you what I'm offering you are just suggestions, and please do what feels right in your body. So let's start by just taking a nice big inhale through the nose and let it all out the mouth. I forgot to say out the mouth with a big audible sigh, because sound is a great way to release stress. So let's try that again. And one more time. The louder the better. And then we'll set up our mountain pose, our sitting mountain pose, both feet firmly rooted on the earth, sitting up nice and straight and tall. Maybe your back comes away from the back of the chair, using those strong belly muscles to help keep you upright. Soften your shoulders back and down. Let's just practice softening our shoulders back and down for a minute. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears. This is where they don't belong. They're not accessories for your ears. And exhale them down. Again with that big audible sigh. Let's do it a couple more times. And then slide your hands to your laps. Palms can be facing down for a feeling of groundedness, or up for a feeling of receiving. Eyes could be closed or open with a soft gaze. And just start to breathe in and breathe out as you feel your seat rooted into the earth. Feel the crown of your head lifting up towards the sky, like you have a string coming up from the crown of your head, lifting you taller. Chin parallel to the earth. Maybe the corners of your mouth come up to an upright fashion. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going to spend just a couple of minutes getting centered with our breath. You continue to sit there and breathe in and breathe out. I'm going to make a little adjustment here. All right, keep breathing in, breathing out. Maybe place your hands on your belly for a couple of breaths. And when you breathe in so deep that you feel your belly pressing against your hands. And then exhale, gently pulling the belly button into the spine. Breathing in, belly rises like a big Buddha belly. And when you breathe out, belly flattens. Make these breaths nice and slow, deep breaths. Maybe breathing into the count of 4. Breathing out to the count of 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Counting is a great way to start a meditation practice. Just take a couple more of those nice, deep, slow, long belly breaths, imagining with every breath in you are nourishing every cell in your body with prana, life force, energy. Breathing in and breathing out. Finding a moment to set an intention for your practice today, knowing that your thoughts are so very powerful. So make it a positive affirmation that's already occurring. It's in the present tense. I'll give you a couple of examples. It could be, I am calm and peaceful, or I am happy and healthy. Whatever resonates to you is already occurring. Take one more deep breath in. And deep breath out. And if your eyes were closed, you can open them. Notice how you feel now compared to how you felt a few minutes ago. Go ahead and reset your mountain pose, both feet firmly rooted on the earth, sitting up nice and straight and tall. We're going to take a little bit of some movements for our neck. We're going to give our neck a little bit of love because we all hold a lot of stress in our necks, at least I do. But first, roll your shoulders back a couple of times and roll them forward a couple of times. Just starting to get into the shoulders a little bit. And then finding some stillness. Very, very, very gently tip your chin towards your chest. Breathe into the back of your neck. Very, very, very gently tip one ear over to one shoulder. Breathe into the side of the neck. Breathe in and out. Come back to center, chin through chest over to the other side and take a breath in and out there, breathing into that side of the neck. And then go back and forth a couple of times, like you're making smiley faces on your chest with your chin, breathing in and breathing out. Imagining that any tension that's in your neck is just floating away. Out the window, it's not going to bother anyone. And then when you find your chin back to chest where you started, go ahead and gaze up. Maybe bring your hands to the back of your neck. We're going to come back to our necks in a little bit. Just give your neck a little massage. Give you a little self-love. That'll feel really good. Any way that just does feel really good to you. Maybe at your hairline. It can feel really good. Just a little massage. And then while our hands are back here, let's leave them here. So my fingertips are not clasped. They're far apart in the back of my head. Think about, on your breath in, moving your elbows to the back of you. And on the breath out, elbows come forward. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. It's okay. Remember, yoga is all about you. There's no judgment. Breathing in, open. Breathing out, close. We'll just do that one more time. We're going to come back to do a bigger shoulder opening in a few minutes. And breathing out, go ahead and release your hands down. Shoulders roll back. Shoulders roll forward. Let's take a few side-to-side stretches, getting into the side body a little bit. With your right hand going down towards the earth, or maybe holding onto the back of the chair. The left arm breathes up. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bend over, sending nice breath and finding a good stretch through the left side of your body. Breathing in and out. Both butt cheeks firmly rooted to the chair. Breath in. Breath out. Maybe you turn your gaze up to the sky if that feels good. If this is a lot on your shoulder, arm can come behind your head. It can come to your shoulder. It can come to your waist. Take one more nice big inhale, and on the exhale, maybe you bend even a little bit further. Leaving your right ear glued to your right shoulder. That left elbow gets really heavy. And then it like floats midair. Again, if this is a lot for your shoulder, arm can be down at a 30-degree angle to your side, or maybe it stays up here. That right ear is glued to your right shoulder. Stay here and breathe, or join me in making some movements with your neck, gazing to the ground to the right of you, and gazing up at the sky to the left of you. We're really getting into the side of the neck, releasing any stress that might be in there. Shoulders are back and down. You're breathing in and out. This should feel really good. One more time. As that, finding some stillness, let that elbow keep getting heavy and heavy and heavy until it comes back down. Chin to chest, gaze up. And of course, now we have to do the other side because we want to be well balanced in yoga like we are in life, and like we have to make well balanced food choices. So now left arm comes down to the floor, or hold on to the bottom of your chair for support. Breathe that right arm up to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, bend over to the side. We're getting some nice breath. Sending that prana into that whole right side of the body. You know we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths now. With every, take an inhale, grow a little bit longer, and then with every exhale, maybe you bend over just a little bit more. Maybe you gaze up to the sky, opening up our heart. One more breath in. Breath out. And then feel that right elbow starting to get heavy. Glue that left ear to the left shoulder. Right elbow is going to stay about midway down, or you could always leave it out at a 30-degree angle, whatever feels better for your body. Yoga is all about you. And then stay here or join me in turning your neck, gazing at the floor to the left of you, and gazing up at the sky to the right of you. Only if this feels really good in your body and your neck. A couple more times. Getting into those hard to reach spots and those feelings at the side of the neck. Breathing in and out. Finding some stillness, left ear glued to your left shoulder. Let that right arm float down to the earth. Bring your chin through chest. And then gaze up. And just notice how you feel now to how you felt a few minutes ago. Let's take a couple of more stretches in the chair, and then we'll find our way up to standing. Let's take a nice big inhale, raising our arms up overhead. On the exhale, from your belly button, turn to one side. Opposite hand comes across the opposite leg. Maybe the hand in the back comes to the back of the chair. Take a nice big inhale, raise your arms up overhead. Exhale to the other side. Opposite hand comes across the opposite leg. Again, maybe that hand comes across the back of the chair. We're going to do that a couple more times. Breathing in on the way up, breathing out on the way down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time each side, but this time we're going to stay a little bit longer. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, maybe you twist just a little bit deeper. Think about twisting from your belly button, not from your neck. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. If you found that your ribs are popping out like mine just did, shush them back, like channel your inner pissed off librarian. Shh. I think I just scared the cat, but that's okay. All right, now take a nice big inhale, raising your arms up overhead, and exhale over to the other side. And we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths, about 3 deep, long breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. From your belly button, not from your neck. Maybe you want to shift those ribs back again. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And come back to center. Inhale, your arms up overhead. Maybe you gaze up. Exhale, hands through heart center. And let's find our way up to standing if it feels good to you. If it doesn't feel good to you, stay seated. I'll show you some variations. But if you'd like to join me, go ahead and stand up. Come behind your chair or simply move your chair to the side so that you're standing in the back of your chair. Let's start by just doing that shoulder stretch that I talked about earlier. So feet are about hip width distance apart, and actually just take a minute to kind of rock back and forth on your feet. We've got this nice chair here for support. So come up on the balls of your feet and then come up on the heels. So we're kind of getting into the calf a little bit and the shin. And when you come up on the balls of your feet, see if you can really flex into those toes like you have your high heels on. Although hopefully we don't wear high heels because it's really bad for us, but I know they look good. And just do that a couple more times. And then actually while we're here, I know I lie a lot in yoga. I tell you one thing and then we do something else. While we're here, let's find a nice balancing pose. Let's find some candlestick. So you're holding onto the back of the chair, come up on the balls of your feet, and then maybe stay there for a couple of breaths, breathing in and out. It might feel, you might feel a little wobbly. That's okay. Just put your heels back down. Or maybe you want to practice a little bit with your balance and lift up a hand or two hands. Maybe you want to bring a hand up or two hands up, finding the full version of candlestick. And come back down. And let's put our hands on the backs of our chairs and just start to take a step back and another step back and another step back until we find ourselves with our backs flat. Taking some nice big breaths in and big breaths out. Gazing down at the floor, keeping length in the back of your neck. Finding a nice shoulder stretch here, a nice opening into the front of the chest. And also, this might be nice on your hamstrings too. Knees can be slightly bent. They don't have to be locked. Breathing in and out. We're going to take one more breath in. Breath out. And then take a little walk back up to where you started. And then from here, we're going to channel our inner belly dancer. And you can keep holding onto the chair for support. Maybe bring the feet out just a little bit wider and start to just hula hoop or belly dance. We're just going to find a little bit of motion in our hips and in our midsection, and pause and reverse the direction. This should feel really good. Just kind of letting loose a little bit. And then finding some stillness here. Hold back onto your chair for support. And with the leg that's away from your chair, lift that up so that it's about, so that your knee comes about parallel to the earth. You could give it a little support. You could hold on to your thigh. That's okay. And then from here, just start to make some circles with your hip. Just getting into that hip joint a little bit. So circles back. And then circles forward. Just getting some lubrication in that hip. Our body makes synovial fluid. It's amazing. We can give our whole body an oil change. And then on your last circle, maybe we'll find another balance pose, tree pose. So you could come up on the ball of your foot with your knee facing away from you. Maybe you slide that ankle in, that foot in towards your ankle. This is a beautiful tree. Maybe the foot comes to the calf. Maybe the foot comes up to the thigh, as long as it's not on your knee. There's no right or wrong. Mine's going to stay right here today. If you notice that you sunk down into teenager pose, lift yourself back up, breathing in and out as your feet are rooted down into the earth. Maybe you grow your tree limbs up towards the sky. Again, maybe you try lifting your hand off the chair and see how that feels. These are all maybes. Yoga is all about you. There's no right, there's no wrong. If you have some support of the chair, you can blow your tree limbs in the breeze back and forth. And go ahead and release all that back down. And now, of course, we need to be well balanced in yoga, so we're going to go to the other side. So you could simply just turn around and face the other way, or you could move the chair. Either way. So now, whatever side you didn't do before, we're going to do now. And of course, I have to remember what we did. So I think that we lifted our leg up. And again, you can give it a little support. Again, it's fine to have support in life. And then go ahead and give those hip circles in one direction. And then pause and reverse your direction. Lubricating that hip joint. We're going to find a nice hip stretch in a little bit. So we're kind of preparing for that. And on the last circle, prepare for your tree pose on this side. And what you did on one side might not be what you did on the other side. Our left and right sides are totally different. We have our feminine and our masculine sides. So maybe that foot stays on the earth. Maybe it comes up to your shin. Maybe it comes up to your thigh, as long as it's not pressing on the knee. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Again, did you sink in to your teenager pose? Lift back up out of it. Breathe in, breathe out. Root down with your feet as your tree limbs grow up to the sky. Maybe you find a drishti, a point in front of you that's not moving to gaze at to help you with your balance. Maybe you practice lifting your hand up off the chair. Maybe that hand comes all the way up, maybe not. It's all good. One more breath in, breath out, and release everything back down to center. Good job. This time, instead of doing some hula hooping, we're going to find our empty coat sleeve pose. So stand again about feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and just make some motions like you have on empty coat sleeves. Make some soft fists, because we want to be nice to ourselves. We're kind to ourselves in yoga. We don't want to beat ourselves up. So make some soft fists, and your belly button is staying forward. And maybe one hand, well, you're twisting from your belly button. You're not twisting from your arms. Your hips are staying forward. And maybe one fist comes in the back and one fist comes in the front, stimulating our adrenals and our lymphatic system. And you can go as fast or as slow as you like. And it should feel really good. And then find some stillness. Just let gravity take over. Finding some stillness. Oh, good job. All right, we're going to do a couple of more things standing. This time we're going to come over to the other side of the chair. So again, you could simply just turn your chair, or you could walk around to the other side. Face your chair seat. Standing in front of it, feet about hip width distance apart. Take a nice big inhale, raising your arms up overhead. Maybe you gaze out. Exhale, swan dive, leading from the heart until your hands find their way down on the chair. And now you might have to adjust your feet a little bit. So feet are under hips, hands are under shoulders, fingertips spread nice and wide, knees can be slightly bent. We're going to find our standing table here. Back is neutral, almost like you want to hold your favorite glass of wine on your back and you don't want it to spill, because that would be really sad. And from here, we're going to find our cow and cat. This is going to be a nice stretch for our backs. So keeping length in the back of your neck. Inhale, drop the belly, tuck the tail, shine the heart forward. This is your cow. Exhale, curl your spine up like a scared Halloween cat. We're going to do this a few times because it feels really good on your back. Inhale, shine your heart forward. Exhale, curl up. Make these movements nice and slow and luscious. Inhale, curl. Inhale, shine your heart forward. Exhale, curl up, feeling the lower back, the mid back, the upper back. We're going to do this one more time. Inhale. Exhale. This time in cat, stay there for a couple of breaths. Let your head hang heavy, maybe shake it yes and no a couple of times. Imagining like your back is a waterfall and all of the problems of the world are just floating off and away. Breathe in, breathe out. And then from here, find your neutral, again, your table. We're going to do a couple more things here. Maybe your right leg, or it doesn't matter, any leg, because we're going to do both, floats up until it's about parallel to the earth, big toe dialed down to the floor, finding your warrior three, nice and supported with the chair. You could always, if you feel like it doesn't, like it's, these are all suggestions, yoga is all about you, but you could always bring your hands to your heart center. I'm going to stay right here. Breathe in, breathe out, engaging those strong belly muscles, pulling your belly in like you're putting on your the skinny jeans. Take an inhale, lengthen, exhale, curl your knee in towards you like we were doing in cat. And do this just a couple of times. This is really good to strengthen the belly. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, curl in. And then take that right foot, well, mine was the right foot, and place it behind you at a 45-degree angle. So those right toes are up towards the right corner of my mat. Think about pulling your left hip back, right hip forward. We're finding a nice stretch in the hip. You could stay here. Maybe you want to come down a little bit more towards the earth. Remember, yoga is all about you. Do what feels right in your body. Breathe in, breathe out. This should feel really good along your hip. Knees can be slightly bent. They don't have to be locked. One more breath in, breath out. Come back to center, both feet at the front of your chair. And with the left leg or your other leg, send that behind you on the inhale. Belly muscles are pulled up and in, pulling everything in towards midline. That left big toe is dialed down towards the earth. You know we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Building strength and endurance. Breathing in, breathing out. And now we'll do those curling in with our knee. Good for our belly muscles. On the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl that knee in towards your chest. We'll do that a couple of times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curling in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curling in. And this time send that left foot back behind you at a 45-degree angle. Squaring off your hips, right hip back, left hip forward. You could stay here, or maybe you want to hinge forward a little bit. Your hands could even reach towards the floor. Breathing in, breathing out, sending a little bit of love to that outer hip. Take a couple more deep breaths here, in and out. One more breath in, breath out. And come back to center, both feet meet. And using those strong belly muscles, curl yourself back up to standing. And then take a nice big inhale, raising your arms up overhead. Exhaling into your heart center. That was a lot of work. You did great. We're going to find our way back to seated, but before we do that, there's just one more thing. I know I keep changing things up on you. And you might want to have the tall end of the chair towards you for a little bit support if you need it. But we're just going to shake things out a little bit because it's a great way to relieve stress. So just start to bounce. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And just leave both feet firmly rooted on the earth and just start to bounce up and down. And if you close your eyes, no one can see you. And just start to bounce and shake. And just shake any way that feels really good to you. And you could be holding onto the chair for support. Or maybe with one hand, maybe with both. And just shake, 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 shake. We're going to do this for about 30 more seconds. And it's just if you've ever seen like an animal in the wild after they've had a scary experience, like they shake it off. So this is just a great way to relieve all that pent up stressful energy. You can shake however you want. Just shake it out. And then come back to some stillness. Let gravity take over. Have a seat. I know I kept telling you we're going to have a seat. Now you can have a seat. Go ahead and have a seat and close your eyes. Just notice what you notice. Notice how you feel now, maybe compared to how you felt a few minutes ago. There's no right or wrong. Just notice what you notice. Breathing in, breathing out. Come back to your intention for a minute. I am. And go ahead and open your eyes if they were closed. We're going to do a few more things today. So reset your mountain pose. Both feet firmly rooted on the earth, sitting up nice and straight and tall. I know we found those belly muscles earlier when we were pulling our knee into our chest. We're going to work on our belly muscles just a little bit more because, you know, when I ask you to come away from the back of the chair, that's hard work. So you're going to use those strong belly muscles to help keep you upright. So think about, again, pulling on your skinny jeans, sucking your belly button into your spine. You could stay here and just pretend like you're putting on your skinny jeans. Or if you'd like to join me on the exhale, just lean back about an inch and then lean forward. And I'm just going to turn so you can see me. I'm not moving back that far, and I'm using my belly, not my back. You could take it up a notch by raising your hands up. Lean back. Lean forward. One more time. And I hope everyone found their belly muscles. We could take it up a little bit more even by putting our feet out in front of us and leaning back. You can do this while you're watching TV. But I've had enough of that for now. So reset your mountain pose, sitting up nice and straight and tall, both feet firmly rooted on the earth. We're going to do a couple of more things. And we got into the hip a little bit earlier when we found our pyramid pose standing. We're going to get into that hip just a little bit more. So take your right foot and cross it over your left leg. And it could be crossed in the ladylike position. It could be crossed in the unladylike position. It could be crossed over your ankle. There's no right or wrong. I'm going to stay right here today, flexing into that right foot, sitting up nice and straight and tall. Give your right thigh a little bit of love. This is a hip opener for the right side. So your knee might be up here. Remember, yoga is all about you. There's no right or wrong. Just let that hip know that it's guiding down. And then we're going to open up our arms, shining our hearts up to the universe. And then we're going to give ourselves a big hug, right arm on top, left arm on bottom. And you could say, I love you, self, because we all need a big hug, and everyone's staying 6 feet apart now, so we don't get any hugs. So give yourselves a nice big hug. Breathing into the back of the heart. You could stay here. Maybe you want to find some eagle arms, stretching out our shoulders as well. No right, there's no wrong. Yoga's all about you. I'm going to stay right here. You could stay here, or maybe you want to start to hinge forward from the hips a little bit, finding a deeper stretch in that hip. Breathing in and breathing out. One more deep breath in and deep breath out. This is a big hip stretch. And come back up to center. Uncross your legs, uncross your arms. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale your hands down to the bottom of your chair and just make some windshield wiper motions with your hips. So this should feel really good. And then while we're here, we might as well take the opposite arm across the body, and maybe it reaches the back of the chair. Maybe it reaches the back of the chair on this side. It just feels really good. Well, it does to me on my back. If this does not feel good to you, don't do it. And then come back to center. And you know we have to be well balanced in yoga, like we're well balanced in life and balanced with our food choices. We'll do the other side. So left foot over right leg. And what you did on one side might not be the same as what you did on the other. So we're making all of those nice, well-balanced food choices, eating lots of fruits and vegetables and drinking a lot of water and whole grains and seafood and healthy fats like olive oil and avocado. Open your hands up, nice and wide, taking a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to give ourselves a big hug. This time, left arm on top, right arm on bottom. And again, you could stay here or you could find those eagle arms. I'm going to stay right here, breathing into the back of my heart. Breathing in, breathing out. We forgot to tell this hip that it was opening. It's okay, hip. You're opening, it's okay. And then hinging forward. If it feels good in your body, if it doesn't, don't do it. My left hip is much tighter than my right hip. We're going to stay here and take a couple of breaths in and out. Breathing into any tenseness, imagining that any tenseness that's in there is floating out the window with all the other problems in the world. It's just floating away. It's not going to hurt anybody. Breath in and breath out. And then come back up to center. Uncross the legs, open up the arms. Release them down to the bottom of your chair and just make those windshield wiper motions again. And then go ahead and reset your mountain pose, sitting up nice and straight and tall, both feet firmly rooted on the earth. That was a lot of work. Good job. Let's take a nice deep breath in, raising our arms up over our head and plugging those shoulders in. So fingertips are reaching towards the sky, but our shoulders are back and down. And then we will find some mountain climbing. So with one hand, reach up, 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 like you're climbing a mountain. and the rope is right there, but it's just a millimeter higher, so you have to reach up just a little bit more. Ah, you got it. And then with the other arm, reach up, up, up. It's just a little bit higher. I almost got it. I don't want to fall off. Ah, and then go back and forth. Again, find some nice length through both sides of the body. Breathing in and breathing out one more time each side. Go ahead and find some stillness. Lift one leg up off the earth. Give your ankle a roll in one direction, ankle a roll in the other direction. And place that back down. Go ahead and do the same thing with the other side. Ankle roll in one direction, ankle roll in the other direction. And then go ahead and find your goddess feet if that feels really good to you. And finding a nice stretch through the inner thighs. So it's knees and toes heading in the same direction. If this doesn't feel good to you, then go ahead and find your mountain pose. You could do this standing as well. If you really want to, you could find goddess standing. I'm going to stay right here, and we're going to find some more twisting motions. So go ahead and inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, squeezing your shoulder blades together in the back until you find your goddess arms. And from the belly button, we're going to twist to one side. And the exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale back to center. Just go back and forth a couple of times, breathing in and breathing out. So as we're finding a nice stretch through the inner thighs, we're also finding a nice twist for our back and working our arms a little bit. And we're breathing in and we're breathing out. Don't forget to breathe. Go one more time each side. Nice job. Go ahead and slide your hands down to your legs. We'll find a little bit more love for our backs like we did earlier with the cow and cat. This is just going to be a little different. Turn your belly button towards one thigh. Take a nice big inhale here. Lengthen the spine. On the exhale, fold down over that leg. You should feel a nice stretch through the back. Come back to center on the inhale. Exhale over to the other side. And go back and forth a couple of times. Only if this feels really good on your back. If it doesn't, I'm going to give you another option. You could just bring one hand across the body. That might feel really good too. Remember, yoga is all about you. Do what feels good to you. Nice job. Go ahead and find stillness wherever you're at. Reset your mountain pose, sitting up nice and straight and tall. We'll give our wrists a little bit of love. So take a nice big inhale, raising your arms up overhead, bringing your hands together at your heart center, finding Anjali Mudra once again. But this time, give your wrists a little stretch. They could be together, they could be apart. There's no right or wrong. Just give those wrists a nice stretch. We use our hands all day long. Go ahead and reverse the direction. And then finding maybe some figure eights if that feels really good. And go ahead and give them a little shake. Give me a high five. Stretch. Give yourself a little assist to really stretch out your hands and your wrists. Don't forget the thumb. And then tip the fingers down and give that a little assist. And then go to the other side. You're breathing in and breathing out. Tip down. Nice job. Go ahead and release that down. Give your shoulders a roll back. Shoulders a roll forward. Let's take a nice big inhale, raising our arms up overhead again. Fingertips reaching towards the sky, but shoulders back and down. Your pinky fingers in towards each other as you're spreading your armpits apart, holding yourself up with those strong belly muscles. You are pretending like you're holding on to the most precious beach ball that you don't want to lose. So you're really holding on tight. Your arms also could be holding onto your beach ball down here if that feels better, or even down here if that feels better in your body. Yoga is all about you. And wherever you're at, we're going to hold on to that beach ball and tip to one side. Come back to center, inhale, exhale, tip to the other side. And go back and forth a couple of times. Again, your ball could be here, and maybe you're going from side to side, or you could be holding your ball on your lap, going from side to side. Finding again some nice length in the side bodies and also some strength there. And wherever you're at, go ahead and release that back down. I think that we lubricated every joint in our body, and we found stretches in our chests and our shoulders and our hips and I think we did everything except for just one more thing that I would like to do. So, and then we'll find a final rest with our Shavasana. Go ahead and find your goddess pose again if that felt really good to you. And we are going to grow some beautiful flowers. Mine's going to be a sunflower. So using those strong belly muscles, maybe you want to come hinge down a little bit, maybe not. It's all about you. And then from the earth, we're going to blossom into beautiful flowers and a beautiful sunflower. Opening up our hearts to the sky. Exhale, curling in, maybe staying right here, maybe coming down just a little bit more towards the earth. Inhale, pressing into the earth with our feet and our quads and our strong belly muscles. Open up, take a nice big inhale. You could say, I'm wicked awesome. And exhale down. And we'll do that just one more time. Inhale up. And this time on the exhale, finding some stillness. And go ahead and reset your mountain pose. And I know that I have been telling you the whole time to sit up nice and straight and tall. But this time I want you to find some support. So I'm going to give you two options. Either just sitting at the back of your chair for support, or if you would like to, you can come down to the floor and put your feet up on the chair. So I will show you that option. Wherever you're at, bring your palms down to your lap, facing up to the sky in a gesture of receiving. This is your time to rest and receive. Take a nice big inhale through the nose, let it all out the mouth like we did at the beginning. Maybe your feet are up here in the chair, finding support. It's totally up to you. Wherever you're at, because Duke is all about you. Wherever you're at, you are finding some breaths in, breaths out naturally. Don't try to force it. Release any tension that you might be feeling in the shoulders. Release any tension from the jaw. Maybe even making some fluttering with your lips. Softening, relaxing every muscle. Eyes could be closed or open with a soft gaze. Your only job right now is to rest and receive. You worked really hard. If you're sitting in a chair, just stay there. If you're lying down, go ahead and bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice big hug, flexing into both feet, maybe rocking side to side. Really good on your back, giving your back a lower massage. and rocking over to one side, lifting yourself up, using your hands for support, coming into a seated position. And wherever you're at, either sitting on the floor or the chair, let's take one final breath in, raising our arms up overhead. And on the exhale, bringing them together at our heart center, finding that Anjali Mudra once again. Coming back to your intention, I am so grateful for sharing my practice with you today. Together we wish each other namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Know that you have pulled yourself out of fight or flight into rest and digest. You have tapped into your body's natural parasympathetic system, and you have the ability to bring yourself into this calmness, and give yourselves a lot of credit for joining me today. And please drink a lot of water. We got rid of a lot of toxins today. So we want to keep drinking water, stay hydrated, and flush all those out. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dina. We really appreciate it. This was great. Thank you to everybody for tuning in to watch. And just as a reminder, our Celebrating Local Wellness online auction is currently live. So you can visit our website, chcofcapecod.org, to learn more. Thanks again, Dina, and thanks again, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.